Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share something incredibly personal, a story that literally changed my life forever. It's about a journey to one of the most breathtaking places on Earth, and a question that I'd been waiting my whole life to ask. We're going to the Atacama Desert in Chile, a place so vast and so quiet, it feels like you're standing on another planet. I knew for a long time that Anna was the one. It wasn't one single moment, but a million tiny ones. The way she laughs, the way she looks at me when she thinks I'm not paying attention, the way she supports my craziest ideas. I wanted our proposal to be as unique and as beautiful as the love we share. A fancy restaurant or a crowded city square just didn't feel right. It had to be somewhere epic, somewhere that would make time stand still. So, I started planning. The Atacama Desert. Why there? Because it's one of the best places in the world for stargazing. The sky is so clear, so dark, that the Milky Way isn't just a faint band. It's a brilliant, swirling river of light. I imagined us standing under a canopy of 1 billion stars, far away from everything and everyone, in a moment that was purely ours. It felt like the perfect metaphor for our love, vast, profound, and full of wonder. The logistics were challenging. Planning a secret proposal thousands of miles away is no small feat. I had to find the perfect spot, coordinate with a local guide who could get us there safely, and figure out how to hide a ring for days without her suspecting a thing. Every email, every phone call was filled with a mix of excitement and pure terror. What if she found the ring?
Now what if the weather didn't cooperate?
What if I got too nervous and completely forgot what I wanted to say? The what-ifs were endless. We spent the first few days of our trip exploring the wonders of the Atacama. We saw the geysers erupting at sunrise, floated in the salt lagoons, and hiked through landscapes that looked like they belonged on Mars. Every day was an adventure, and with each passing moment, my anticipation grew. I was carrying this huge secret, and it was getting heavier with every step. I kept checking my bag, making sure the little box was still there, still safe. Anna just thought I was being extra careful with our passports. If only she knew. The day of the proposal arrived. I told her I'd debooked a private stargazing tour as a special treat for our last night in the desert. She was thrilled, completely unaware of the real reason. As the sun began to set, casting long, dramatic shadows across the valley, my heart started pounding like a drum. Our guide, a wonderful man named Javier, drove us deep into the desert, far from any city lights. The further we drove, the more the sky began to come alive. We finally stopped in a secluded valley. It was completely silent. The kind of silence that's so deep, you can hear your own heartbeat. Javier set up a telescope and started pointing out constellations and distant galaxies. He was amazing, sharing stories of the cosmos and the ancient people who read their destinies in the stars. But honestly, I was barely listening. All I could think about was the ring in my pocket and the words I needed to say. After a while, Javier subtly excused himself, saying he needed to check on the vehicle, leaving us completely alone under the immense star-filled sky. This was it. The moment had arrived. The Milky Way stretched above us like a diamond-dusted highway. Shooting stars streaked across the darkness every few minutes. It was more beautiful, more perfect than I could have ever imagined. I turned to Anna. My hands were shaking. I took both of her hands in mine and looked into her eyes, which were reflecting the starlight. I started talking, my voice trembling at first. I told her how my life was before I met her, good but incomplete, like a sky with no stars. I told her how she filled my world with light and laughter and purpose. I spoke about our adventures, our quiet moments, our shared dreams. I reminded her of the time we got lost hiking and how, even in that moment of uncertainty, I felt completely safe because I was with her. I told her that every day with her feels like discovering a new constellation, something beautiful and new that I never knew existed. I said that I didn't want to spend another day of my life without her by my side, as my partner, my best friend, my everything. My voice was thick with emotion, and I could see tears welling up in her eyes. The whole universe seemed to be holding its breath. Then I slowly got down on one knee. The sandy desert floor was cool beneath my knee. I pulled the small box from my pocket and opened it. The ring, which I'd spent months choosing, seemed to capture the light of a distant star. Time truly stopped. It was just her, me, and the silent watching cosmos. I looked up at her and finally asked the 4 words I'd been rehearsing in my mind for months. Anna, Will you marry me? For a second that felt like an eternity. She was just silent, her hands covering her mouth, tears streaming down her face. And then she started nodding, a huge, beautiful smile breaking through the tears. Yes, she whispered, her voice barely audible. Yes, of course, yes. I stood up and slid the ring onto her finger. It was a perfect fit. We just held each other, laughing and crying at the same time. Two tiny people in the vastness of the desert under a billion silent witnesses. I've never felt a happiness so pure, so overwhelming. It was a moment of absolute magic, a memory etched not just in our minds, but seemingly into the fabric of the universe itself. Javier returned a few minutes later with a bottle of champagne he'd been hiding for us. We popped the cork, the sound echoing briefly in the immense silence, and toasted to our future. We spent the next hour just sitting there, sipping champagne wrapped in a blanket, looking up at the sky and talking about our future together. It no longer felt like just my dream or her dream. It was our dream, beginning right there. That night in the Atacama Desert wasn't just a proposal, it was a promise. A promise made under a sky that has seen the birth and death of stars, a promise to love, to explore, and to navigate the universe together. It was the perfect start to our forever. Thank you all so much for letting me share this incredibly special story with you. It means the world to me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more adventures. We'll see you in the next one.